Meryl Streep. All right, we get it. 21 Academy Award nominations, 3 golden statues sitting at home, and the official title of the greatest living actress on the planet. At this point, saying she's phenomenal is almost a cliche. When we think of her, we instantly think of her flawless accents, her extreme physical transformations, and her legendary Hollywood discipline. Do you actually remember the exact moment when, moving past just respecting her career, you really fell in love with her? Not with the Hollywood legend, no. With the actress, with the raw emotion. For the longest time, I found her almost too perfect, too technical. And then, I stumbled upon a movie from 1995, a film directed by Clint Eastwood. And there was this one scene, a scene barely 4 minutes long with absolutely zero dialogue. That was the exact second everything clicked. Let me tell you the story of how Meryl Streep broke my heart and made me fall in love with her art. Before we dive into that specific scene, we have to do some justice to her massive body of work. Her filmography is a literal monument. Back in the late 70s and 80s, Meryl established herself as the absolute queen of high drama. If a script required breaking the audience into tears, she was the first choice. In Kramer vs. Kramer, she pulled off the impossible feat of making a mother who abandons her child deeply human.
There's little clouds all around that I painted, and I thought I should have painted clouds downtown because...
In Sophie's Choice, she delivered a performance so agonizingly intense that it's still studied in film schools worldwide.
The truth, I don't even know what is the truth. After all these lies I have told.
What's truly fascinating about Meryl is her range. Her technical ability to embody a character is insane. You give her a role as a Polish survivor, she learns Polish. You give her a role as a music teacher, she practices the violin 8 hours a day. She's the ultimate worker. But the trap with technical perfection is that it can sometimes feel a bit cold. You admire the execution, but you don't necessarily feel the spark. Fortunately, Meryl also has a brilliant sense of humor and a rare streak of self-deprecation. That's what allowed her to survive Hollywood's ageism and crush it in comedies later on. In short, she can do it all. But the absolute peak of her subtlety happened when she was 46 years old, under the direction of a cowboy. That movie is The Bridges of Madison County, directed by Clint Eastwood in 1995. The synopsis is beautifully simple. Francesca is an Italian-born housewife trapped in a quiet but terribly monotonous family life on an Iowa farm. One day, her husband and kids leave for a 4-day trip to a state fair. Enter Robert Kincaid, a National Geographic photographer, a free-spirited, somewhat rugged man visiting the area to shoot the historic covered bridges. He loses his way, stops by her farmhouse to ask for directions, and in just 4 days, they experience the kind of absolute love you only encounter once in a lifetime. The real deal. Now, quick heads up. I'm going to spoil the ending of the movie, but it's completely necessary to analyze the scene. At the end of those 4 days, Robert begs Francesca to pack her bags and leave with him. But she refuses. Out of duty, out of love for her children.
I've never said it before. This kind of certainty comes but just once in a lifetime.
Robert leaves. And that brings us right to our scene. It's a few days after Robert's departure. The rain is coming down in sheets. Francesca is in the truck with her husband, Richard, running errands in town. Richard is driving, casually talking about mundane things. Francesca is completely somewhere else. Her body is in that car, but her spirit is shattered. And then the car stops. He turns around to face Francesca's car. He doesn't make a scene. He just looks at her. He knows this is the last time he will ever see her alive. He gets back into his truck. And then he hangs a small brass medallion she gave him onto his rearview mirror. It's a silent, invisible signal just for her. It's his way of saying, I love you. I'm right here. My door isn't locked. This is where Meryl Streep becomes magical. During these 2 minutes at the red light, she doesn't utter a single word. Everything is told through her face and her hands. Look at her eyes. It's a mix of pure panic and absolute longing. Her right hand slowly moves down toward the door handle. At this exact moment, the audience's heart is racing at 200 beats per minute. You want to scream at the screen, just open the door and run. Her hand grips the handle. She starts to turn it. You can see the sheer physical tension in her knuckles, the internal warfare tearing her apart between being a mother and being a woman. Meryl Streep turns a simple car door handle into the most unbearable suspense in cinema history. The light turns green. Robert's truck pulls away and disappears around the corner. Francesca's hand lets go of the handle. It's over. She made her choice, and she just watched her lifetime of happiness drive away, forever. She bursts into tears, but quietly, fighting to make sure her husband doesn't notice a thing. Meryl Streep didn't need explosive theatrical tears, dramatic screams, or a 3-page monologue to make us feel a lifetime of heartbreak. She just used her eyes and her silence. That was the day I fell in love with her acting. I remember thinking about that scene for weeks. What about you? What's the specific movie or the exact scene that made you fall in love with an actor or actress? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next analysis.